Do I think that I've acquired wisdom in life? Well, yes, I do, actually. It sounds a bit arrogant, but people often actually say that sort of thing to me. I mean, what is wisdom? Wisdom is, it's not knowledge, not information for a start. Information is like the internet, could be true or not true. Knowledge is if it is actually true. What is the capital city of something? I mean, there's certain things that are knowledge. In medicine, of course, we have knowledge. But wisdom is a third level of something. It's kind of the application of knowledge to real life situations. In medical school, of course, we have to take all of that knowledge and then we have to apply it to the patient who's in front of us, who's sick. And that's the skill of medicine, I guess. And I just apply that kind of approach to life when medicine and science is about what is it, what's wrong, why is it so, and then how do you fix it? Simple as that. How do you intervene? And when I look at, that's how I got into Fathering Project, I'd say, well, why do some people not spend time with their kids and love them? Everyone knows that statistically that's the most powerful thing you can do for your kids, but they work 14-hour days saying it's for the kids. And I think, why would anyone think that when it's blatantly not true? And then what can I do to fix it? And as I watch and talk to people, I think I acquire wisdom. In other words, just the application of that knowledge to life. Jackie's the same. We talk a lot about marriage and relationships and parenting, and we watch our kids, we watch our friends. And I think I'm just a scientist who applies science to life. Why is this so, and how can you develop ways of intervening? Anyway, honestly, when I was young, I was the most lacking in wisdom you could imagine. Immature. But I think wisdom is just having an open mind. Anyone can acquire wisdom if they've got an open mind and ask, why is this so? Rather than reacting, say, why is this so? I will actually mention one other thing as an example. When I was a medical student, I remember feminism just came in, and one of the women in our year was, we were at a party, and she told me about all this. She sort of challenged me, and I never heard about it before, and her challenge was fair. I mean, in those days there was a bit of nonsense too, that there's no difference between men and women biologically, which is not true, and I don't think feminists say that sort of thing nowadays. The question is how we engage with each other. I didn't know then, but I went home and thought, gee, I've never thought of that. That's absolutely true. So why am I saying this? Well, it's the why question again. When you meet a rabid, that sounds like a terrible word, but a kind of a feminist who thinks all men are bad, and I'm sure you've heard some people talk like that. All men are bad and masculinity is toxic, and this is what I think. Why? Why do you need to think that and say that? Is it true, first of all, what you're saying? Or if it's not, why do you need to say that? Why do you feel that way? Why do you need to express that way? Why are you not open to other points of view? And so I am filled with compassion for people who are like that. And I learn from that, if this is wisdom, why I ask questions, hopefully not too paternalistically, to understand why they feel like that. And so, yes, I think I have acquired some wisdom. I hope after all these years I wasn't a failure in that regard. And I'm very happy to gently, without any arrogance, share that wisdom if I get an opportunity. What advice would I give to my 10-year-old self? I'm not really good at these sorts of questions. I'm not sure I would think of any particular advice. I mean, I was having a great life at school, in the playground, at home. Nothing really that I would, maybe I just don't have insight into it, but I'm not good at these questions. What advice would I give to my 20-year-old self? I was once asked on it when I was a guest on a radio show. This was a question they were asking everybody, and I actually couldn't really think of much, which is probably a reflection on myself. I think my worst habit is impatience, which can lead to intolerance, and it's based on the capturing of my ears. If someone talks, I'm never sure if they're talking to me, they're talking in the background, I don't know, I just get irritable. Or if they say something, ask me a question and I give them the answer, and then they ask me the question again. Oh, what was the answer to that? I don't know. I get impatient. My ears get captured by sound. This is one of the aspects of misophonia that I have. But it's not that. That would be an excuse. A reason is never an excuse, and I am impatient, which can lead to intolerance in those situations. I feel bad about it, and I continually remind myself not to do it. I have to talk to myself virtually every day to be more patient and more tolerant.